Welcome back, YouTube. J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at ya, heading out to a dusty old flea market, driving 30 minutes out of our way to see what kind of goods we can turn up, or maybe bads. I guess we'll find out here.
Hey, James.
Well, YouTube, we've done it again. We got a pile of junk here, some in the front seat, some in the back. PS3 games, we got a nice wee lot here. Not a ton of stuff, but we might have to go back and see. It just happens to be that we might have to head back to that dusty old flea market one more time this year, see how things go. But I think we got a winner for at least 1 week. We'll wrap up, take a look at the stuff when we get back home. All right, YouTube, we're back. What did we get from the flea market? Let's dive in and take a look. We got some stuff out of the free bin. We got a free sealed cassette tape, and we got this super cool VHS that's going to let me know how to use MS-DOS. I'm pretty excited about that. That's timely and helpful. Let's see. We did hit, this was still in my car, so we brought that in, a Goodwill yesterday. I hit the Goodwill the next town over every 2 or 3 months, and so $7 little Technic set. I said, sure, why not? So we picked that up. This was a guy who had a bunch of vintage stuff, and then just out of the corner of my eye, I caught Pokemon. It's all sealed. We got 6 packs in there. This is from 2024, and then we have another 6 packs here, featuring Stellar Crown, Stellar Crown, Stellar Crown, and Stellar Crown. He didn't really have any story on it, so I have no idea, but I paid $30. He said $35. I said $30. Pokemon stuff is so hot and flying off the shelves at the local video game store. I just figured I'd pick that up, either for me or for him. I don't care, but should be some meat on the bone at $4.50 a pack retail. A nice, really clean copy of Where's Waldo for $1. Again, I take that to my buddy for his video game store. This said $15. I did not know Age of Empires had a card game, which was kind of cool. Anytime I find a new video game based, IP or card game or comic book, I'm always pretty excited. They look very generic. I'm sure it was trying to take over the Pokemon Magic card craze of the era. So we'll leaf through there. I really don't think there's any value to be had. That's just me taking $5, putting it in my hand, and throwing it out the window. A guy had 50-cent albums. The only one I could figure I would want would be the Miami Vice album here. So Phil Collins, how can you go wrong? Tina Turner, so we picked that one up. This was the first buy of the day. Let's see if we can do it justice here. It is a huge vintage 80s skateboard. You'll see the $15 price tag there. Called the Flying Tiger. It's got features include concaved and 100% Canadian maple wood construction. It's got the, rising sun Japanese flag there, 1986 Sports Fun. I'm not familiar with that brand. I am not an expert at vintage skateboards, but I know 80s skateboards in this form factor generally sell. And so he had it for $10. I tried to talk him down to 8, but he's like, I already had 15 on it. I'm taking 8. So that's kind of the best I can do. It's cool. It's got 2-tone tires, that kind of a thing. We'll hop over here real quick. This dude I've seen before and bought stuff from many times. He had just all these plushes sitting out, and I kept waiting for him to show up. So about 10 minutes till the show was supposed to start at 9 a.m. He got there, and he unloaded this giant Wii lot here. But for $15, I bought a set of 3 plushes, a Waluigi, a Mario, the Mario and Luigi. So, I usually just put 10 a piece on those in the showcase, so nothing crazy, decent profit margin, just cool stuff to have in there. And we'll start digging through here in a second, but this was another vendor, a guy that I know. Some of these aren't super mint, and some of them aren't super great deals, but, at $2 a piece, again, if you're not buying every PS3 and 360 game you're seeing at that price right now, to me, you're nuts. So this guy, he really didn't know what he wanted for everything. He said, just sell it all to me. Sell all the Wii stuff. Just put it, and not featured is the Wii Fit board to go with that Wii Fit Plus. So he said like 175 or something crazy. And I said 150. And he said 165. So I said, fine, 160. And he's, well, let me think about it. And he's hemming and hawing. And I was like, see, you know, the devil's in the details down here, and we'll look at some of them. And so he goes, all right, you've talked me down to 150. So somehow I went from 160 to 150. So I guess my negotiating skills are good. The boxes are pretty clean. It's nice that he didn't price them, which helps. They were all kind of up on a bookshelf. And you're going to see, you know, a lot of the Mario stuff, which is really good. You know, I'm always selling through that. I'm probably always out of Mario Karts at any given time. If you did have to have a Wii Fit, having the 2 games to go with it's pretty nice. You know, Lego Batman just showing up everywhere. But these Spider-Man games I probably don't have in stock. Those are going pretty good. The Black Knight, I think, is the Sonic I don't have. I think I might even be out of Brawls. I think I finally sold through the 20 or 30 copies I had of that. Monster Jam, that kind of stuff always sells. But then it just had this kind of bin of mystery. So I did check. You can see the things off. That was a third-party remote. Really doesn't matter. I'll still be able to sell it. Got the zapper with the trapdoor, which is great. We'll see some U-Draw games, which are terrible to have, but if you have to have them, have that with it. Again, I have piles of these. They don't sell, but in theory, that adds a couple bucks. We got 2 of these third-party, you know, Mario classic controllers in there. Again, nothing great, but it kind of buffs the value a little bit. Yeah, you can see the feet down there for that. Well, there you go. Maybe that'll add a couple bucks. He did not have any of the Rock Band stuff, but sometimes those dongles are 15, 20 bucks. Yeah, you can see a bunch of these, but one of them, you know, is like, see, one of them needs, like, work. You know, all that takes effort. Oh, there we go. We got a new Vegas for $2. So there you go. You know, in decent shape. Seems like it'll probably work. No memory card, but, you know, what else we got down here? I have no idea what that is. That's probably unrelated, so we can throw that out. But, oh yeah, and even some, you know, Motion Plus. So all that kind of helps. You know, try to get back 150. So yeah, here's some more games. Mushroom Men, I am huge on. I always say that game should go up. It should be double the price that it is. Yeah, Gold's Gym isn't going to do anything. You know, the Survival won't do anything. Driver's a pretty good game on the 360. On the Wii, I don't exactly know. And then I looked on his other shelf, and he had a couple just random games. So I paid $8 for these 2. 3 on that, obviously. But it's a Nintendo first party, so I figured $3 is probably worth it. I really didn't know. And $5 there. Well, welcome to Life with Kids, where no spare moment is actually spare. Let's see, wrapping up here, we got the Nerf N-Strike, Lego, Epic Mickey's always good, although I did see that I have both in stock at the moment. The Zelda, Glacier, Cars. There's the Rock Band to go with the dongle, so that's good. Maybe I can find a Wii guitar I haven't messed with yet. Blazing Angels, another Rock Band. Boy, it would have been great if we'd have had that set. Ben 10, geez, another Rock Band. There we go, that was another one on the shelf I was happy to see. That's like $25, I think I put that out for. So that'll help get us there. I have like 6 of these in stock. Nobody wants that Sonic. Great game nobody talks about. Apparently we had both of the Force Unleashed. Again, Lego, Star Wars, always a classic. That'll always move. There's that U-Draw stuff. Well, there you go. If you have that many Rock Bands, you know, it helps to get them in a lot. You know, and then they sell decently that way, so... There we go. Acme Arsenal. Great game on the 360. Again, another Spider-Man. We're happy about that. And then to round out the lot, the Wii Sports. And then this really helped because he had the Zapper and he had this. So that'll help to get 15 or 20 out of that. This lady had books. I thought it was $2 a piece, but it turned out to be 3 for $1. So I wanted to pick up the 20 more role-playing adventures of Wizards and You for $2. And she goes, no, you don't have to pay me that. And grab 2 more. So I just grabbed 2 random books to make that work. I have a buddy who collects and sells vintage movies. So we have Dr. Clitterhouse, we have Gung Ho, we have Pillow Talk, and we have Blow Up. There you go. And there you go. That's the end of that bag. The same person that had those for $1 each had 2 Gru comics. I have 2 friends that fight over Gru comics every time we find them, so they can have fun in a bidding war for that. And to wrap it up, we spent $20 with a vendor who hosts garage sales in a different town, an hour away, and they were set up, and they did all this for $20. So I got the Sonic 2, Mortal Kombat 2, a $10 Zelda, and a Lion King in a cardboard box, beat-up box. But of course, I had just bought the Lion King in a beat-up box, and from that last collection, that was like $1,000, $1,200, whatever. So didn't really need another one of those. But I'm never going to turn down a cardboard box Genesis game. So YouTube, this has been J-Bob. Goes on another crazy adventure, spends a bunch of money. Let me know how I did in the comments. We'll talk to you soon.